What's up, guys? I'm Isaac here. It's Back Road Harley-Davidson, and I have your new bike of the week, the 2024 Harley-Davidson Softail Heritage Classic 114 motorcycle. So obviously for 2024, they're going to be offered in a lot of different colorways, and they're also going to be offered in two different trim options. So you have the chrome here behind me, and then you have the black trim as well. The chrome obviously is going to help it stay a little bit more true to that heritage, old school line there. It's, still very classic Harley-Davidson, where the black trim really holds on to that, but at the same time gives it a little bit more aggressive of a stance. And you'll see the black also does carry into the windshield, so it kind of covers up the parts of the windshield you probably wouldn't be looking through too much anyway. It really helps tie that bike together pretty well, I'd say. And then as far as colorways, there's lots of different colorways available for these motorcycles, whereas the various trim packages, some of those are only going to be available for one of the colors. So you'll see right here, it's going to be the new Red Rock with Vivid Black. Pretty sharp. It's kind of a flat, earthy red. We saw that on the Lowrider ST. It's pretty sharp looking color, especially paired with the Vivid Black. And then behind me over here, we've got the Alpine Green. So it's a really bright metallic green. We also saw this one on the Breakout in the Pan America. But with this chrome trim, it's absolutely gorgeous. Definitely excited for the new look of the Heritage motorcycles this year. And so far as biggest differences from the 2023s to the 2024s is going to be exactly that. It's going to be the new colorways that they're going to be offered in. Now, for those that are new to the Heritage motorcycle, what you're looking at, or at least for the 2024s, they're going to be the 114 Milwaukee 8. That's going to be the only motor option for these bikes. So plenty of low end torque, lots of great power. That's going to be rocking that 6-speed transmission as well. So these are really going to make great light touring motorcycles. So they're going to come standard with all the nice touring benefits. So you've got cruise control, you've got the windshield, you've got hard saddlebags. Now these saddlebags, they do have that leather outer, so that way they look more like the classic saddlebags of the old school Heritage motorcycles, but they do still have that hard plastic on the inside. So what that's going to do is it's going to let them hold their shape really, really well, and that's also going to let you lock these bags. So you've got locking luggage, which is fantastic. But with these motorcycles, you really get two motorcycles in one, because not only are you able to rock this light touring, classic kind of dresser style, especially with the full-length fairings or full-length fenders on it, but you can take this windshield off super easy, and you can also take those bags off easy. Now, those bags don't come off quite as easy as the clamshell style bags and the Harley-Davidson quick release systems. You do still need tools to take those bags off, but it's a relatively simple job you can get done pretty quick. And then after you remove those, you're left with a pretty stripped down cruiser. You've got a Harley-Davidson 114 Softail, so it's got that little bit longer monoshock in there, so it's going to give you a little bit extra travel for a little bit more comfort. A super cushiony seat, really good for those longer tours. Got these mini 8 bars, very similar to what we're seeing on the Street Bob, but it's just going to give you a really comfortable riding package all the way around. Talk about the rider triangle here, so you've got that very comfortable seat. It is equipped for a passenger too, so you do have the passenger seat as well as the foot pegs, and you can get the Harley-Davidson quick release system here for a backrest. There is a matching tour pack you can also get for these motorcycles that looks pretty good, especially if you're going to be doing a lot of 2-up riding. But so far as the rider, they've got these floorboards, nice big brake pedal, lots of room to stretch out, and then they've got these mini 8 bars to reach out to as well. So very comfortable riding position for lots of good miles to rack on. But then looking inside the cockpit, you've got just the right amount of tech you want, but not too much. So you've got cruise control, ABS. You do have the fog lights, which is pretty much exclusive to the Heritage. There aren't really any other Softails that are going to offer that. And so you've got your high beam, everything else going on over there. And the top of the button of the horn, that's what you can use to control and kind of cycle through everything on that digital readout underneath the speedometer. So you still have an analog speedometer, tank mounted, which is one of the biggest things that makes this motorcycle stay nice and classy. But what you've got going on underneath there is you do have a digital readout of your, you can cycle through your odometer, your tachometer, your trip A, trip B, your fuel range, and then you're always going to be able to see your fuel gauge and then what gear the motorcycle is currently running in. So that's pretty cool, and all that's right on top of that 5-gallon tank, so you've got plenty good range. So reach out and tour on this motorcycle, and that's right above that 114 Milwaukee 8 motor, so lots of good power coming out of that thing. It is an exposed air cleaner element, but this motorcycle does come with a little rain sock, so for normal riding conditions, it's plenty fine to leave open like that, but if you want to be a little more careful, you can go ahead and slide that right over if you're going to be in particularly dusty or rainy environments. Now, if you're looking to really rip, probably going to recommend that Lowrider ST. This is, when we're talking about those light touring bikes, the modern light touring bikes of the Softail chassis that we're looking at, you're going to have the Sport Glide, of course, then you're going to have the Heritage, and you're going to have the Lowrider ST. Those are going to be the main 3 light touring Softail motorcycles that you're going to see most common. If you're looking to really rip, something like that Lowrider ST is probably going to be a little bit more of what you're trying to do. But if you're going to lean a little bit more towards that little bit easier cruising, then the Heritage is probably going to be what you're looking at. If you're still looking to get on it pretty good, this motorcycle will do pretty much about just what you want it to. And you can look a little classier too while you're doing it. With the full-length front fender and the full-length rear fender, it's going to really help keep this bike nice and dressy. Especially with the black trim, looks pretty sharp, but the chrome trim's going to make it just a little bit classier. Come stop by here at Tobacco Road Harley-Davidson, come see us, and come see these motorcycles. And if you have any questions about these Harley-Davidson Softail Heritage Classics, then be sure to stop by here and come see us soon.